Thank you, Father, in the name of Yeshua. I come to you and I praise your holy name, and I ask for a special blessing upon this video. I ask for a blessing and a renewing of the Spirit for everybody that is caught out there, that is caught up into occults and things. They are believing lies. Father, help them and forgive them in the name of Yeshua. Amen. I'm on the phone right now with my friend Brigitte, Chuck's wife, and I just felt led for you to hear something about Chuck, because honestly I love Chuck. When I met him, he was so quiet and peaceful, and I just loved him. I mean, I had a lot of respect for him. And Bridget, you said that he was a very educated man.
Yes, he was.
So talk about how educated he was, and how even the TV and stuff, that this man was an intelligent man, not a stupid one.
Yes, he was. His degree is a Bachelor of Science degree in Telecommunication and TV Production. He graduated from San Diego State University, and he was working with the church, a big church. He was a cameraman, and he was also in the engineering department and the audio engineering department.
Wow.
And he used to record the service, and they he also do the introduction of their program on channel 26 Christian Communication Network, and they do telethon because he just loved to work with the ministry, but it's a true ministry. It's not a cult ministry.
And wasn't the Catholic Church either. Like they
No,
said that he,
no,
you made
he
him
was
go to a Catholic church.
no, he was a born again Christian, and
Okay.
even if he married me, we have a nice wedding, Catholic wedding, but Catholic believe in Jesus Christ is the only God, our Savior.
Yes, that's true.
No other than. They believe that Mary or saints or no, that is not. Our only God is Jesus Christ. And there was no problem. There was no problem
But
when
you went to
he
his church, didn't
yeah,
you?
he came and married me in the Philippines. I work in a hospital. I'm not that kind of a woman who probably Elizabeth think that's
No.
what he's telling in her tapes.
No.
No, I'm a clean woman, Elizabeth. I was
Yes.
never
Amen.
touched by any man because I preserved myself to only one man who will be my husband, and that was Jack. And until now, since God gave me that man, I not even in my imagination to have another man in my life.
Well, he was really what she tries to call soulmate. He was really your soulmate, because you had saved your whole life for him. You
Yes,
waited for the perfect man that God wanted you to have, and so you was his soulmate
yes,
that she
but
destroyed.
yes, this woman, whatever she's telling on the tape, that is a lie.
I know.
She was not in our roof.
I
She
know.
was not in our bedroom.
You know, Bridget, I know exactly how Chuck got sucked in. I really do, because I have a college degree, and I've been a minister, well, all my life. I used to preach and hold revivals and tent revivals and stuff, but yet there was a point there that, I believed everything she said. I believed everything she said.
Well, there
And
must be it must be an associated with witchcraft or
I,
hypnotism, because how
yeah,
in the world that people are just like they look like they are magnetized.
well, I think that's what you're describing it, because I know until God delivered me of this occult, and I had never thought I would ever, ever, ever be a part of an occult. I just never in the slightest imagination of my mind that I thought that I would ever believe somebody like Elizabeth and become part of something like Elizabeth has. And I would believe that Chuck was the same way.
I think so too.
But
Yes, because he's in my 17 years and a half married, living together every day. We never have a big fight or
no.
argument that I can remember, because we are matured, we are ready. But as you said, ups and down, yes,
Well,
you
everybody
know,
does. Every marriage has disagreements
yes.
over some of the most stupidest things. But, I've been married to my husband for 32 years, and if people think we agree on every little thing, no.
You
But,
know, and then she she just described us like what kind of marriage we have. We have a quiet, nice marriage, but it's not always milk and honey. As I said, there's a
no, no,
disagreement, but it doesn't escalate to a fight. None. I am quiet. I don't talk. When I
yeah.
am when I'm upset, I don't talk. Barbara,
And
I never scream. I never hit my husband with this as this liar, this evil words that she's telling in
no,
YouTube. I would like to see her in court telling that to the judge with the witnessing chalk.
yeah. Well,
I
I'll tell
have
you the
I have
truth.
never even pinched my husband.
I'll tell,
None.
Let me assure you, Bridget, I'm sorry, that Chuck never once said anything like that to me. Now, Elizabeth had said how evil and mean and stuff you were, but Chuck was never around when she was saying this stuff. And I never caught on that maybe Chuck didn't even know about some of the things she was saying to me to try to turn me against you. Uh, and but Chuck never, ever, ever said one bad word about you, and we've had many talks early in the morning, because I would rise early to read the Bible and pray and stuff, and when I got up and started moving around, Chuck slept in the front room, and of course he'd wake up, and I'd try to be quiet, but he'd wake up and then we'd talk, but never one time, not one time did he say anything to me bad about you. Um, I just kind of assumed that y'all was already divorced until one day that Elizabeth was having a fit about retirement money, and that you were a thief and you were trying to steal it from him and keep him from getting what was his and stuff. And she was, whoa, went
No.
off the wall about
Mm-mm.
that. But not one
No.
time, not one time. I want to assure you of that. Chuck
That's
never.
the reason. You know what? I know what this woman's plan, that my husband cannot even see a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So all I did legally, I have to safeguard our assets,
Mm-hmm.
because I can tell this woman. He's after. I know already she's a cult. The first time I talked
Mhm.
with her on the phone when Chuck introduced her to me, we were at home.
Mhm.
I asked her, "Do you know that Chuck is married?" And then she said, "Yes, but how in the world that you never talk with me?
Mhm.
You never ask, and if you could have talked with me on the phone, we could have been praying together. But these are all secrets." I said, "So
Mhm.
I bet you she cannot even remember those, but I have a good memory that I can remember the first time she talked with me." And I told Chuck, "If you are going to join this group, you will destroy our marriage. And if you wake up, open your eyes,
Mhm.
you will weep." I told him.
I think he
I
has.
I don't know if he remember that I told him. I told that to Chuck when we were in bed. I told him because he was showing me the website and
Mhm.
showing me there was a picture of this woman, and I asked him, "She's very young, is she a pastor?" And then she scrolled the screen computer, and here she's a fat lady. I said,
Mhm.
"Oh, is that her picture now?" "Yes."
Mhm. Yeah, by the time I met her, she had gained enormous weight, and her feet would swell, and she had a lot of health problems because I used to pray for her all the time. Well, I still do pray for her. I mean, why would I say I used to? I still pray for Elizabeth. I pray that she comes and gives her heart back to Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and gets saved. And but uh, she had gained a lot of weight and maintained a lot of fluid, which that tells me that she either can have heart trouble and congestion, being that you worked in the hospital, you know about
Yes, I
congestion
know
heart,
already.
or she could have sugar diabetes, because sugar diabetes does the same thing to you, cause your feet to swell and hurt and stuff.
Yeah,
So
once you have you have already edema
mm-hmm,
or swelling.
mm-hmm.
Oh, you will not stay long.
Well, honestly, I could poke on her feet because, of course, I've taken a lot of training, and I used to be a work in the ambulance, and as a EMT, and I've worked in
Yes,
the hospital and stuff. Well,
yes.
I would press on her skin, and I knew there was something really bad going on, and I tried to get her to go to the doctor in the hospital, and she was totally afraid of them because she said that they were evil and they do, try to kill her and stuff. But
That's you can just tell the mentality there is not
I mean,
really
what can I
healthy.
say? I mean,
It's not
but
healthy. I can tell right away when the way. Oh my gosh, I have never worked. I mean, I've been working in healthcare for the rest of my life,
Mhm.
and the first evaluation that I made on her is really cuckoo.
Well, people don't understand this, but when your soul becomes so dark and you're so full of sin, it also affects your physical body. What's going on with your soul will affect your uh, physical body, because the spirit gets sick, and it reflects on the outward body, and people don't understand that. And I really believe this is what is occurring with Elizabeth, that she is so demon possessed that it's taken over her physical body as well as her mind. You know, I mean, honestly, I was thinking today about about Chuck and what they did to him up in Alaska.
That's very unhuman.
I mean, what was he thinking when they dropped him off at this filling station in Alaska? It's locked up, nowhere to go, maybe, 5-10 miles down the road before he could get anywhere. Our father, you're talking about Alaska, in the dead of winter time, and it don't take long to freeze to death up there. When they kicked him out of the car and drove off and left him, all
Well,
day today it's been bothering me.
well,
What was he thinking? What was.
I don't know. What, because what was exposed by the witness was Chuck was asking prayers,
Mm-hmm,
and he asked prayers from the inner circle
mm-hmm,
of this cult leader, and he was very furious at him because he did not go to her directly and ask
mm,
prayer, and he was only allowed to go to them and nobody
mm-hmm.
else.
Right.
And I said,
Yeah, you're supposed to ask prayer from her. She is the prophet. She is the one, the anointed one, and she can pray over you. And
that that prayer doesn't even, there's no effect
mm-hmm.
because that's full of demons,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
no, that is not even effective at all.
I
From
agree
what I
with
am
you.
seeing, Chuck was never involved with police or law enforcer in his entire life until he
She,
was with this group.
yep, until she come along, and then he
Yes,
had a gun.
never. We never
He
we
had a
never
gun.
have any enemies in our life.
Yeah.
We are quiet living people, decently living in our beautiful house with the neighborhood that, my gosh, the, all they thought was we were a model couple because,
Mm-hmm.
when Jack comes home, he's cook food, clean house. Even in the divorce paper, he
Mm-hmm.
mentioned about Mrs. Wilson cooked wonderful, delicious meals and
Yeah.
kept the house immaculately clean. But when he is
But that's
upset,
your culture,
when
hun. That's your culture that you you were raised like that, to be
yes,
honor your husband, to take care of your husband, to do your
yes,
duties at home by taking care of him and feeding him and making sure he's dressed good, and that's
yes,
your culture. That I mean, I know. And so whenever she said, I read horrible things about you, I would, wait a minute. After I found out you were from the Philippines, I'm going, this is totally contrary to their teaching and their raising.
yes.
Um,
Well, maybe Chuck said something that she exaggerate. This woman exaggerate, like, okay, when she was insisting that, when she's telling that I insisted Chuck to sleep in the other bedroom.
mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
dare this woman is talking about our, that's the most private, that's privacy. She's already invading our privacy. She
And
has no dumb business in our married life.
but you never know what Chuck really said,
Yes, but
because
if
she could
Chuck,
have took it
she
out
was
of
already, he was
contents.
already brainwashed.
Yeah, and she probably took it out of context and warped it the way she wanted. She's really good about twisting things. I
She
know.
is.
I know. I mean, you can say one word, and by the time it leaves your mouth, enters her head, and she's starting to talk, it's like all out of proportion.
Yeah.
And I would have to go, Elizabeth, that's not what I said. No, um, she's good about twisting things. Very good about twisting
Yeah.
things.
And then she even said that, uh, Chuck went to their ministry, suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Chuck wants me to go with him. He wants me to support him.
Right.
He wants me to go to join. And when I told him no, I was named disobedient. I
Mm-hmm.
was, name it. He was upset because I don't agree.
Well, that's how she's broken up so many marriages. Um, y'all's far left his wife, went down there and moved, and I know this for a fact because I talked to his wife. Went down and moved into Florida into condominium and divorced.
Condominium.
Yeah, down there in Florida and divorced his wife
I can
because
believe.
she would not join like you wouldn't join. She would
Yes.
not join and didn't. And she realized that it was an occult and it was not good. And being that she's convinced him, which she started preaching this back in 1997, that there was a holy writ of divorce. This wasn't new. She didn't call it a holy writ of divorce back
No.
then, but she said that
Unequally yoked.
it was all right. God made it all right to divorce, and I believe the reason why she did that was because she was trying to divorce her husband, and she wanted to, say it's all right.
Yes.
It's all right to do that. So,
Yes. Yes. Then she will make these victims of her deceptions
mm-hmm.
believe that she is communicating directly with
Oh yeah,
God.
oh yeah, directly
Yes.
directly with God. She's seen angels, and I don't know. Maybe she's seen angels. I don't know, but maybe they weren't God's angels. And she told me, she said, and when she would describe it to me about touching the wings, the feathers of the wings of the angel, I could see she believed it. I mean, totally 100% believed it. But you do know that the fallen angels can come in as light to people and deceive them. So
Just,
she could have seen something. I don't know.
just are delusional. I don't know because I can. That's why Jack was really completely brainwashed and
Mm-hmm.
fooled, cheated, and she's telling that she went there suicidal. No,
Mm.
he wants me to go with him. He wants
Yes.
me to support him. You know.
And I believe that he did. I believe that he wanted you to come, but um, she didn't have any use for you, honestly,
Yes.
because you were in the way. Because
Hmm.
if you did not release Chuck's money because she was taking it,
I
and
know for sure because when Chuck left for the first time to meet her in Arkansas, Chuck brought all the retirement
mm-hmm,
papers, and I said, "Does this woman know about your retirement?"
mm-hmm.
And he said,
Oh
"Yes."
yes, she did.
What is the role of this woman in our marriage?
Yeah.
That is what my question to Chuck.
You, you,
And he
you,
did not say a word, but he just kept telling me, "She is a prophet." Prophet of what? I told him, I know because Barbara,
mm-hmm,
I know that this woman is a fooler because
mm-hmm.
I
Yes,
know
she is.
I am a devoted Catholic and my God is Jesus Christ. He's the only God that I worship and I know the words
Yeah.
of God, and if I didn't know, if I was raised in a very conservative family,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandma, my grandpa, we go to church, and then she cannot fool me.
No.
But Chuck was very, very weak that he cannot see what this woman's plan behind his back.
Yeah.
You know, he was
She.
completely believing what she was telling him.
Yep. He was. He did.
Yes, and oh my gosh, this will destroy your life. But it was probably too late that I have known because it was all secret.
Yeah.
behind my back.
She had been in your life long enough
Yes,
without you knowing it. She was
exactly.
able
Until
to deceive him
yes. Mm-hmm.
before you even knew what was going on and happened. I mean, I can see that very clearly happening that way because
Yes.
she does that to other people. I mean, um, but I just I truly like Chuck. I mean, I'm not saying this because you were married to him, but I'm just saying it because it's true. He was a gentle,
Yes, he
soft
is a gentle
talking,
person.
kind man.
He
And,
is a refined man, and
and I
all
believe
these things that what Elizabeth is saying against
mm,
me
it's
in a
not true.
husband and
No,
wife.
no, it's
Okay,
not true.
there are, as I said, there are disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I never curse on him. I
Mm.
have a Tagalog or Filipino expression like American. Sometimes you said, "Done it." What is that one? How do you say that? But there are some expression of Americans that sounds like curse,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
I
But
mean,
he never heard me saying those curse in a Filipino language. Those are just expressions that I said, but I never have curse
mm,
on.
oh no, no.
I think there's an exaggeration of that description
Mm-hmm.
because telling that I hit my husband with dishes, I'm
No,
physically abusive, I would
no.
love to talk with Chuck face to face with him and her in the courthouse, in the courtroom.
I don't
Because,
think you'll ever get Chuck there. I think he's so scared of her because whenever I last talked to him, that he was in hiding because he was scared of her. He said that he was. He said that he didn't want to see you and be with you because of the he feared the repercussions. I really believe he wasn't talking about repercussions from you, but from her if he even come back around or
I
ever
think
showed
he
up
is,
because he knows too much. He
yeah, I
knows
think
too much.
he doesn't want to, Elizabeth is telling that uh, Chuck hates his wife.
Mm. I've never
What
heard
is his
that
grounds?
out of
If
him.
he is
Never.
not only brainwashed, I safeguarded his retirement money, and
Mm.
it is still there. Even, not even half a penny or a penny that I took.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling that I'm stealing. I have never heard my husband saying words against me or never
Because they were
badmouth
her
a,
words.
a person,
They were
you know?
exactly her words that day up there in that condo. Whenever when she was going off on Chuck about the retirement. That's the reason why I think that she said in that one video when she was mad at him and said, "When I told you to tell your boss to stop the check," I think it was the retirement check she was talking about. I
No,
truly
that is,
believe.
excuse me, Barbara. When Chuck just moved in with her
Mm-hmm.
and her son,
Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Chuck has vacation. He's still having his
Oh,
paycheck,
yeah. Okay.
okay? Because he has a lot of uh, vacation leave. And every end of the month, that check comes. And I have to pay the mortgage of the house. Because I did not
Oh,
work. He didn't want me to work, okay?
yeah.
Because he said, you will just pay, we will be just paying your paycheck to Uncle Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have dependent.
Yeah.
We did not have financial problem, okay? Because
Oh.
I know how to manage the budget, and
Mm-hmm.
I am not that kind of a wife to buy me this, to buy me that, because when I was single, I have a good life. I have
Mm-hmm.
already my own jewelries and everything that he came to my life,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I'm not that kind of a wife that I will spend or steal the money of my husband. I am an honest wife. And I'm not a cheater. I'm not a fooler.
So
No,
that
I
was the
am
check
a
she was.
very, I am a very disciplined wife, even if you ask Chuck.
Mm-hmm. So that was the check she was talking about.
Yeah,
See,
because
I've been
when
trying to piece things together because I do know when I was up there, she was really getting on to me about the retirement check and how you were stealing it. I
I'm
happened to
not
walk
stealing
in,
it, I'm
yeah,
safeguarding it
I
from the
know,
hands of
but I
of
happened to
the
walk into
deceiver.
the room one day when she was going off on him, and I just walked right back out and went for a walk. But
Wow.
uh, but I knew that they had planned on going up to Alaska for a while, and she is planning on leaving in the United States and going overseas. But at that time, Chuck was supposed to go with them. I really believe up there in that cabin in that mountain that night, I don't know exactly all what happened,
Well,
but
he went, okay. When they were in Arkansas, they moved in Massachusetts, they moved in uh, North Carver, Massachusetts,
mm-hmm,
Montana,
mm-hmm.
uh, everywhere.
Oh
They
yeah,
went to Louisiana, New
mm-hmm.
or Flowood, Mississippi, something like that,
Right.
and went to Canada.
Yeah, she went. She had went out and lived in Canada for a short period of time. This older gentleman was supposed to give her some land up there, but
You
then he
know,
took it back.
the fooled people through the internet. I feel sorry for these people
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know what she's doing behind the screen of the computer.
Yeah, they
All this
don't.
website that very, you know, alluring to the
Mm-hmm.
eyes of the people, that they don't know the real story, what she's doing behind their back, just
No,
waiting for this money for her to live on. And these people are working hard
and
to
sending her
make
money.
money. And wow, I am
She,
telling this because this is a proof,
yeah,
a living proof. Jack and I lost everything because of her
yeah.
deception. Our house, okay, the first time she told me, when Chuck was in Arkansas
Mm-hmm.
that night, when she let me talk with Chuck, I mean, Chuck let me talk with her.
Mm-hmm.
And in my, what I can tell her was, she is really a fooler when
Mm-hmm.
she told us me the first time, the first word that, oh, we love your husband very much, he is
Yeah.
godly. And then I said, yes, he is a godly man. And then she asked me a question, if I know God.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yes, I know God. Do you know Jesus? This is the same. The same. I will not change because this is the same question
Mm-hmm.
that she asked me. I said, yes. He's the only God that I know and my only personal Savior.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me, are you obedient to Jesus? And I said, yes, I am. And then the next word is, if you are obedient to Jesus, you have to give up that house, and Chuck is going to quit his job. That's what she said. The same, even whoever will interview me, that's the same question, that
Yeah. That.
the answer that I will tell them, because
Yeah.
that's the same. That's the word that she said. And that's why when I said that we lost our house,
Mm-hmm.
she's twisting. Bridget Wilson said that we took the house. That's a lie. I said, we lost our house
Yeah.
because of the deception that she did to Chuck, because he abandoned everything, because he is believing that this she is a prophet.
Yeah. That's they all do. Even
Yes,
I did. Even I did. I have
you
to
know,
confess that I was blind, and I even thought that she was, um, even, you know, it's
I don't
amazing
know.
to me, how good our Father is when He brought me and woke me up, 'cause it
Yeah.
was not His design for me to stay
Yes.
with her and be fooled.
I don't know, Barbara. I was never convinced that this woman is a
Hmm.
prophet. Never.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a very strong faith to God.
Hmm.
But probably Chuck doesn't see that.
No.
You know, he
When.
thinks that because I was in the Catholic.
Hmm.
No. Do you know that we have, we the Catholics, but,
Hmm.
you know, we are so devoted. And
Hmm.
it's Jesus Christ we worship,
Hmm.
not when they're saying they're praying the rosary and this and that. No, we focus on Jesus Christ, our
Yeah.
only God.
I know a lot of good Catholics. I mean, that really serve Jesus Christ, Yeshua.
Yes.
And no, do I believe in all of the Catholic doctrine? No.
Yeah, me too.
And
Even though I was in the Catholic, I don't confess to the priest.
no,
Not at all. I confess to God
yeah,
directly.
yeah, because um, God showed you who the high priest is, and that's Yeshua, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And not a man, not a Catholic, not a Presbyterian, not a, like, I was saved in a Methodist church when I was 7 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and but I come to understand there's a lot of doctrine in Methodist churches just whew, way out there.
Man-made doctrines. Yes, there are
Yeah,
man-made
just
doctrines.
yeah,
So it's up to the individual.
yeah,
It's
and
up to the individual to evaluate or to be
mhm,
careful whom to believe. Like,
mhm.
mm,
And we got to
no?
get realize that there are occults out there, and if you're in a group that is telling you you have to come to them for everything, that you are the prophet, you are the word of God, and that they must come to you, and just same as asking permission, it's an occult. I'm sorry, there's
Yes,
no two ways
yes,
about it. It's an occult, you know
exactly.
and they have to wake up before it's too late, because that cult member is leading you down a road that she has designed in her mind as
Exactly.
religious, and that is of God, when I am coming to light that it's not of God, and she needs saved. And as long as she has these cult members that hold her up on a pedestal,
Yes,
she will stay in the darkness.
yes.
I mean,
I feel sorry for these people.
I feel sorry for the people. In a
Yeah.
way, I feel sorry for her, because they just keep building her up. They keep calling her mama, and they keep calling her, the prophet, and every word she said is just holy and stuff. So they build her up to the point that she even believes her own lies.
Yes. And they're being taught to make a sin. Like
Mm-hmm.
Chuck. What did he do? What did he do?
Yeah.
He abandoned me. That's
Mm-hmm.
already against. You cannot even abandon a pet, an
Mm-hmm.
animal.
But
How much? How how can you do this to your wife,
no,
who
I
took
don't
care of
understand.
you? Who took care of you?
Well,
And
I'm going to end this video right now, and some other day when we're talking and I feel led that the Lord wants me to put it on video, I will, like this time. But
yeah,
I'm going to shut the video down, and then we're going to talk,
yes,
privately.
yes, Barbara,
But
yes,
Father, in the name of Yeshua, I pray for Elizabeth. I pray for all the members of her occult out there, that they will see the true Yeshua, Jesus Christ, that they will come under his covering and not under the covering of a woman or a man. And they will believe the Holy Bible and read the Holy Scriptures and come out and be saved and get their hearts right with him in the name of Yeshua. I plead the blood over this video right now. I plead the blood. Amen.